Remember how Bungie thought it would be smart to use Destiny 2 lore videos as evidence that they didn't steal ideas from author Matthew Kelsey Martineau? Since you know, the content being challenged is no longer in Destiny 2? Well, we have an update.
The judge denied the lore videos as evidence. To quote, while the plaintiff does reference Destiny 2 in his complaint, he doesn't reference the YouTube videos containing Destiny 2 game footage, the Destinypedia pages, or the Tyson Declaration. The plaintiff's motion to strike seeks to strike these attachments and keep them from being considered in connection with the motion to dismiss because the attachments are incomplete, improper, and were not incorporated into the plaintiff's first amended complaint.
In other words, the comparison of Martineau's works in Destiny 2 can only be made with Destiny 2 itself and not any third-party summary. Also, the court found that the claims for copyright infringement are sufficient and the lawsuit will proceed. You tried, Bungie. You failed, but you tried.
Welcome to Necro News, the show where we cover the hottest gaming news from the last week. This week, there wasn't a lot, but we did find some. Microsoft is raising their prices, Titanfall got cancelled, and I guess there's Overwatch 3.
As you know, everyone was asking for Overwatch 3.
Were we even asking for Overwatch 2? GTA 6 has been delayed yet again, being moved from an unknown point in time from this year to now May of 2026. Rockstar hasn't given any specific answers as to why it was delayed. The statement listed on the website is to deliver the quality you'd expect and deserve, but that's basically it. Could it be that the game is horribly buggy? Is it blatantly unfinished? We just don't know.
That sounds bad in the long run, but let me say, as an Infinity Nikki player with a 1.5 patch, having to wait to fix the bugs does not sound bad at all.
Is that all you ever think about?
Yes.
Okay, Ellie.
But back to the story. If we had to guess, the delay is probably due to work on Rome needing to be finished. But to give you guys a time frame on how long the wait has been for GTA 6, it was first leaked back in September 2022, and the official reveal trailer was back in December 2023, with a release date of 2025, which gives us at least 3 years of known active development.
And yet, Elder Scrolls 6 is a game that was announced in 2018, and we still don't have a single sliver of information on that game. I reiterate, we need to be saying we got GTA 6 before Elder Scrolls 6. We got SilkSong before GTA 6, before Elder Scrolls 6. Seriously, why are we focused on GTA 6? The development time does not... Can we please get this trending? Please? Seriously?
Seriously, didn't Kingdom Hearts 3 or Final Fantasy, 16? Whichever one? Take like 10 years to make?
Well, so it was actually Final Fantasy 13, and then Versus 13, and then 13X for the PSP, but then 13 became 15, so like that's a whole thing in and of itself, but for Kingdom Hearts, it was a 14-year development cycle.
You Zoomers have it easy.
Kingdom Hearts 2 has screwed us again.
Also, speaking of SilkSong, a playable demo will be available this year in September at a museum in Australia.
What?
Yeah, we don't know.
Nintendo is nickel and diming you by charging you to play games you already own. Sony is raising the PS5 prices by a significant amount. So surely Microsoft will take advantage of this and keep their prices low to entice the consumers. Right?
Ha! We're talking about capitalism here. That's right. Instead, they're raising their prices just like everyone else. Surprise, surprise. Prices for the Xbox Series X and S for all versions will be rising by at least 20% for all versions, with the Xbox Series S 512GB version going from $299.99 to $379.99, with the controllers and headsets seeing increases as well.
Why the fuck would you go that high for a console that nobody buys? And why would you increase the controller price? They're already $90.
And they aren't stopping there. First-party games are expected to cost $80 starting this holiday season, and while we can blame just about anything for price increases, just remember this is a price hike for a console that's nearly 5 years old.
What first-party Microsoft games are they even making? I can't think of a single one. Boomers, let me know what Microsoft games are first-party. What? I cannot think of it. Halo, maybe. Who the fuck plays Halo? Whatever. Remember, guys, Steam Decks are $350, have access to all the games that consoles and everything has. They're usually cheaper. It's Linux based and are capable of playing games that not even Windows 10 can play, like Zanzara. Not that any of you know what Zanzara is, and not that I will ever convince this woman to play it, even though it's about actual fairies that she loves, but it's from like 20 years ago.
Never change Steam. This is either good news or bad news depending on how you look at it. I'll probably think it's good news, but only slightly. Anyway, on April 29th, Respawn announced it was stepping away from 2 projects that were in development and would instead focus on development of Apex and their Jedi games as a result of 100 jobs being cut due to layoffs. How are they laying off people but then increasing prices to everything?
That's some bullshit.
I don't know. How are they laying off people but they have access to Jedi games and Apex? Well, anyway, the games that were cancelled were unknown, but recently it was revealed that one of them was Titanfall 3, or at least some form of Titanfall. But before you get too upset, it was revealed this Titanfall game was going to be an extraction shooter, like everything else. So on one hand, this is yet another chance of Titanfall 3 being thrown out of the window for more Apex Legends, but you also don't get to see Titanfall get desecrated into an extraction shooter. It all depends on how you look at it.
Kingdom Hearts 2 has screwed us again.
So a new Overwatch game is in development somehow, specifically a mobile game. The origin of the reports actually come from Nexon and Blizzard reaching a deal regarding Nexon being able to work with the Nexon IP in addition to Korean and Japanese distribution rights of Overwatch 3.
Who asked for this?
Gooners.
I don't even think Gooners wanted it because they just have everything on.
I don't know who wants this, honestly. Who wants a mobile anyway?
They say. Anyway, Overwatch 3 is not the official name and is just based on speculation and the name being used by Korean publishing companies. We also don't know exactly what the genre of the game will be, but with an article from Korean site MTN that we machine translated because I don't know any Korean.
Despite being Korean.
In the case of the StarCraft IP, bidding proposals were open-ended in terms of genre and content type, while Overwatch Mobile is the latest installment of the Overwatch IP developed by Blizzard, which is known as a mobile game on mobile platforms. It was also collectively referred to as Overwatch 3 by Korean game companies that participated in the bidding.
While an official announcement hasn't been made yet, one can only wonder how Overwatch manages to remain relevant when Marvel Rivals exists and does everything better.
D-cups full of justice.
On April 23rd, Tim King released a video expressing his opinion on game preservation, highlighting why it's important in his experience both as a game developer and a gamer. What's important to note is that when he was listing one of the reasons why game preservation failed, he went into depth on how he was ordered to destroy all the assets he used in development of Fallout, including but not limited to source code, prototype versions, design notes, art assets. You get it.
Of course, in typical corporate fashion, the documentation for everything was lost over time, and they eventually called up Tim for the Fallout source code for being lost. Now, Tim does say that they were allegedly able to recover code from the shipped version and a few patches released afterwards, but everything other than that was lost to time.
A few days later, Interplay co-founder Rebecca Hinnerman had an interview with VideoGamer.com. In the interview, she revealed that because of her experience with the state of source code archival for games in the 1980s, particularly with Wasteland, she began keeping an archive of every game she worked on, which includes Fallout 1 and 2.
And since she was a founder, she was able to keep all of her company assets, unlike Tim. Does this mean the source code will finally be released soon? Unknown. But what is known is that Hinnerman is currently focused on reviving MacPlay, which is the name of Mac ports of Interplay games, to port current year games to Macs. And it's also kind of depending on what Todd feels like having done, since he technically owns the rights. So hopefully soon, but at least we know that the source code is preserved.
This week's Buried Alive Banger, a segment where we cover a game our community doesn't think has had enough attention, is Promised Mascot Agency.
How do I describe this game? Well, I guess it's best to call it an agency simulator, with heavy driving and some weird barely card game interspersed. You play as Yakuza man Michizune as he works to save his matriarch by running a mascot agency in a cursed rural town. Characters are fun, like Pinky, a mascot who is a cut-off Pinky, Peaches, a Gyaru farm girl, and Tofu, a horribly depressed piece of tofu. It's fun. It's good. Soundtrack's great. Go for it.
And here are the games coming out this week. Tell us in the comments what you guys are looking forward to.
And here's our schedule for the week. I need to make good on a bet I made last week, and so we're playing Nikki, with an E, on stream on Tuesday. And then more Elden Ring on Thursday. And we're not sure what's happening on Sunday. It all depends on if Ellie wants to keep watching Expedition 33.
And that's it for this week's Necro News. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure to post a dollar emoji. Yeah, that's a thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or that flying dollar thing. Anyway, as always, a special thank you to all of our channel members. We really, really appreciate it. If you'd like to show your support for the channel and want to help us grow, becoming a member gives you access to bonus content like bloopers, sneak peeks, other cool stuff. So until next time, everyone, goodbye.
Bye.